Think you know how to play Bedwars? Let me tell you, you don't. So, if you've ever played on Hypixel, the most popular server in Minecraft, you probably know what Bedwars is. Now, if you've ever gone looking for a guide, you've probably found a bunch of them on the Hypixel forums. And this is where things start to get interesting. A while back, a guy named Mystery made this awesome video on beating Minecraft the way Mojang intended. I figured I'd do the same thing, but instead of Mojang and Minecraft, I'd do Bedwars and Hypixel. It's a match made in heaven. By piecing together the information found in these fantastic player-written guides, my friends and I are able to create the perfect winning solution for Bedwars. And by perfect, I mean absolutely stunning. Anyway, let's get started. So, you get into a Bedwars game. What do you do first? Is it A, collect resources, build a butterfly defense, and rush opposing teams through diamond generators? Or B, no IZP, you idiot, you should go rush middle without building a defense like a complete psychopath? So which one is it? Is it A, or is it B? Well, let me tell you, according to our first Hypixel forum guide, it's B. Our first guide is from the Hypixel forums user Troy. It was made back in the glory days of Bedwars, aka 2016. This guide has everything you could possibly want. A brilliant defense strategy, unique and effective attacking methods. Oh, and let's not forget, using the best weapon in the game, the diamond axe. Jumping straight into the first game to start this one off, we immediately rush middle, as the guide recommended. If you thought building a defense to start the game is a good idea, then you thought wrong. According to the guide, our goal was getting 8 obsidian for defense, because that is apparently the only reasonable form of defense. Of course, it didn't say anything about having a defense other than obsidian, so that means we didn't have one. Believe me, it was a perfect strategy. After snagging a few emeralds from middle and forlornly looking at our very exposed bed, our bed was promptly destroyed, as we had no defense. Clearly, this strategy was working incredibly. But not to worry. We gathered all of our materials to start our insane and unique attacking strategy. The guide recommended going 40 blocks into the air and using jump boost and a water bucket clutch to break the bed. So I bought 4 potions. I think this should be enough, right? Of course, then I bought the most OP weapon in the game, the diamond axe, and then employed this brilliant attacking method. As you can see, it worked perfectly. Game 2, we strategized a little bit better. We built a wall around our base and had one person defend with a knockback stick, which the guide recommended for unknown reasons. Seriously, why wouldn't you just use a sword? Anyways, after stealing some emeralds from yellow team, we actually got enough obsidian this time without our bed being broken. Clearly last time, our bed being broken was just a fluke accident. After gearing up with the correct items, we began our incredible attacking strategy. We made a pillar all the way up to build height and started bridging over to other teams. No way this could go wrong. After that, unfortunate incident, we began to push Green's bed by bridging. We had everything we needed, and this time 2 of us would attack instead of just 1. Obviously, this wasn't working. We realized that we needed to reconsult the guide. Obviously, we were doing something wrong because the guide could never be wrong. Upon reading further, we found that the guide recommended that one person attack on the ground as a distraction, while the other went in the sky. We implemented this strategy on our next attack. Despite me dying, the attack was a success. We broke their bed and quickly killed them. Now we just had to find the last player and win the game. The last player was hiding in a back corner. I shot him with my bow and got the victory. Clearly, this strategy is incredibly effective. Our next guide is from Rulebreaker Reporte. It is a multi-step guide with a ton of pictures. Let's get straight into it. Steps 1 and 2 were simply joining the game. Easy enough. After that, the guide recommended using resources to get blocks and rushing middle. This was a great idea. The guide wanted us to get some emeralds for weapons. I grabbed a couple from mid. Should also mention that we only had wool for defense, as it was the only recommended defense in the guide. Our bed was destroyed a few moments later. They seemed to get through our defense pretty fast. Maybe it was because we only had wool.
12 seconds later.
I bought a punch bow with the emeralds I grabbed from mid and was being extremely annoying to green. A bit of petty revenge for breaking our bed. My teammate then went in for the bed while I kept bow spamming. We got the bed and then got the last few final kills for a win. Honestly, I can't believe we won that game. Guide 3 was pretty similar to the other guides. Get resources and grab blocks, build a wool bed defense, grab resources and grab blocks, build a wool defense, you get it. However, this guide also wanted us to immediately rush another team. I apologize in advance, red team. The guide also wanted us to build really high and drop TNT on them, so we did. After a successful attack, we bridged to middle. The guide wanted us to get emeralds for obsidian, pearls, and potions. Actually, for once, pretty reasonable coming from Quora. We then bridged to diamonds for some protection and sharpness upgrades. While I was defending, my team broke blue's bed. Now time to get some finals. We got the last few kills and got the victory. On to guide 4. So, guide number 4. Let me tell you, out of all of the interesting tactics we've seen so far, guide 4 has to be the worst. Let's get straight into it. Our first move was to bridge to diamonds. Unfortunately, red team also had the same idea and they were very persistent. This guide revolved around upgrading your forge, so we were getting as many diamonds as we possibly could. We also had absolutely no bed defense at all, as the guide never mentioned getting one. Smart. Really smart, guide number 4. Next, I bought a bow and a few arrows. This would be our main weapon of choice in this challenge. Then our bed was destroyed. Kinda saw that one coming. I used my bow to kill red and collect diamonds to try and upgrade our forge more. We still needed it according to the guide. I was then killed by an invisible player with a diamond sword. Obviously, this guide is going to need a little bit more skill to make it work. Game 2 started off the same as Game 1. Bridge diamonds, stab red team, grab diamonds. Upgrade forge, buy bow. Once again, red team was proving to be a problem. I used my bow to hold them off. Unfortunately, red team ended up getting our bed. Kinda hard to defend when your bed is completely exposed. Red was pushing us a lot. I bought another bow to help keep them away. I also bought some pearls and potions to hopefully break their bed. We had an emerald forge now, so we had plenty of emeralds. Unfortunately, one of us was killed by green team, and now we had 2v3 red and green. Scratch that, 1v3 red and green. I drank my potions and got ready to try and break red's bed. Okay, game 3. This is the one. We did the same thing as usual. Bridge diamonds, upgraded forge, bought bows. Then our bed was destroyed. Again, this whole not having a defense thing really isn't working out for us. Sadly, one of us slipped into the void. The two of us geared up to go take on red, the last team. I swear to God, this entire recording, red team was such a pain in the... Oh my God. I used my bow to spam them repeatedly. This was way more effective than it should have been. We then finished our forge upgrades. Now we can finally get something actually useful. We got some sharpness and protection. I then noticed we had a lot of extra gold and iron. I may or may not have bought in 16 fireballs with the iron. Money well spent. You see, my teammate and I had a plan. I would use my fireballs and bow to distract red team and open up their bed defense. Meanwhile, he would drink an invisibility potion and pearl in from the opposite side. It was a beautiful plan. Somehow our plan worked, and this time, the finals were all mine. Wow, you made it to the end of the video. That's awesome. If you liked the video, please be sure to subscribe. I'm just a kid in his bedroom making videos, so I'd really appreciate any support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.